Let's talk about gender. My name is Anastasia Lane and I'm a transgender woman of color. Typically, your gender is written on your birth certificate by a doctor who looks at your physical appearance and says, "You're a boy," or "You're a girl." And this designation will likely have a huge impact on your life, from the clothes you wear to the things you do to the way you are treated by society. Growing up a boy or a girl often comes with some predisposed ideas. For lots of people, this is totally fine. You feel perfectly okay with your designation as a man or a woman, and we're taught early to be proud of who we are and to express our individuality. But what if you couldn't? What if you were told you were male, but you really felt female on the inside? What if you were born physically with female genitalia, but you felt neither feminine nor masculine? Who, other than you, can tell you how it feels to be in your body? Who, other than you, should? Transgender is a term broadly used to identify individuals who feel that the traditional constructs of gender don't accurately define who they are. Most transgender people are men or women, but some of these people don't necessarily fit into the categories of man or woman, male or female. For example, some people have a gender that blends elements of being a man or a woman, or a gender that is different from either male or female. Some people don't identify with any gender. Some people's gender fluctuates over time. 2017 has been called the best and the worst year for trans people. Despite the political victories, greater trans representation in the media, and new policies protecting trans rights, we've still got a long way to go to end the disproportionate discrimination my community faces. Throughout the world, trans people have endured disproportionately higher rates of physical and sexual violence than the general population, just for being who they are. In the United States, 47% of transgender people have reported being assaulted at least once in their lifetime. Last year in North America, over 25 trans folks were murdered, and over 80% of them were trans women of color. Although more and more allies are standing up and saying trans rights are human rights, racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia continues to keep trans folk from finding employment, houses, healthcare, and other necessities. Everyone deserves having a safe and stable place to live. According to the US Transgender Survey, the largest survey of its kind, 1 in 4 trans people have experienced housing instability or discrimination based on their identity. Being denied housing or being evicted from homes and families is a common occurrence. Homelessness is a critical issue for trans people. 1 in 3 trans folks have experienced homelessness at some point in their lives. Family rejection, discrimination, and violence all play a role, leaving many people homeless and at a greater risk for being a target of violence out on the street. Even the workplace can be a dangerous environment for trans people. More than 25% of transgender people have lost a job due to anti-trans bias, and more than 75% report experiencing some form of workplace discrimination. These experiences include being fired, harassed, assaulted, denied promotions, being denied access to restrooms, or having personal information shared in the workplace. Refusal to hire, privacy violations, harassment, and even physical and sexual abuse are common occurrences for far too many trans people, and are experienced even more by trans women of color. This lack of security at work leads to finding work in underground economics, such as the sex and drug industries, for survival. It's hard enough to face the unrelenting discrimination that takes the form of ridicule, violence, eviction, and the lack of job opportunity. We can all be allies, and ally is someone who supports and advocates for the equal treatment of their community other than their own. We're all human beings, and trans rights are human rights. So how can you be an ally?
Be kind to everyone and respect everyone.
Put an effort into listening to people.
We don't need spectators, we need voices.
You can be there for us, even if we're not there ourselves.
Embrace our uniqueness.
Speak with us, not necessarily for us.
Give us the same rights.
Being a good advocate.
Ask everyone their pronouns.
Don't ask me about my past.
Show up and be respectful every day in every interaction.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Trans rights are human rights.